Everything's wrong. We got no. I'm kidding.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. You remember that time we had a Marvel Universe talks and then we said we weren't gonna talk about DC?
In the ancient times.
DC, well, I will link the Marvel Universe talks with Matt up above in the card made playlist. But since Marvel Universe, nothing's really happening right now.
Nothing's happening with anything right now.
Oh, well, because we're in COVID and stuff is
We
fun.
are? Yeah.
Anyways, but, you know, there's a couple things upcoming which, once they happen, we will talk about them. We're all very excited.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be awesome.
Yes, and WandaVision.
Yes!
But the reality is, Marvel's not doing anything, and we are going to talk about DC.
We need something to talk about, so yeah.
So I brought in the comic expert.
I will take that title, but...
My boyfriend, he reads a lot of comic books and stuff and knows a lot and talks to a lot of people about comic books and
I thought she was going to stop at talks a lot. That's true.
But DC has been making moves recently with...
DC's been making a lot of moves. What are we talking about specifically? TV, movies, the actual printed stuff?
Did we want to talk about movies since we...
I suppose at some point we have to talk about the movies.
We'll talk about the movies later. That's a whole episode in itself because we have not seen them all.
Get the tissues ready because it's sad.
Oh, jeez.
No.
But
there's hope for it. We'll end on that high note. Go ahead.
Mostly, we're going to talk about the DC Ink line.
The printed books, like the YA books.
So, I don't know how this happened, but a while ago, I think it was 2016, this one came out. Let's see if I can find it. 2017, this was published. So,
Hold it up. Everybody can see.
DC made a DC Ink line. They started with Wonder Woman. They also did Batman, Nightwalker. There is also a Catwoman book, which I only have on Kindle, digital version. And then this is the last book in the line, Superman Dawnbreaker, which I haven't read yet, but obviously it's in paperback, so it's been out in a while. This series is called DC Icons, if you can see it. So they did 4 of those books, and then they also noticed that YA, several of the authors that they picked for YA might not have wanted to do like a full novel story because they picked some hard-hitting YA authors for the books. For Wonder Woman, they picked Leigh Bardugo. For Batman, they picked Maria Liu. What does it say? For Catwoman, they picked Sarah J. Maas. And then for Superman, they picked Matt De La Pena. I don't know what else he's written. I'm sorry. But those are some heavy-hitting authors for those novels. But for the DC Ink line, they decided to come out with graphic novels, which we have quite a few here. You heard me talk about Mera Tidebreaker, which I don't remember. They don't show them all together. I'm sorry.
That's a glowing review. Should you read it? I don't remember. I think that says enough.
It's good. It's not as horrible as some of the others.
Ooh, snap.
This is a Catwoman one. Lauren Miracle is the one who did the words, and it says Isaac Goodhart did the art. We did that one. Matt had picked this one up for me. Also, this is the Teen Titans series with Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo. You probably heard about me talking about this in a readathon. I don't remember which one. But also on that note, the second book, graphic novel, Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo did is Teen Titans Beast Boy. There also is a third part of this, Beast Boy Loves Raven, which is coming out hopefully next February of 2021.
Is that what it was?
I think it's February.
Okay.
Because they do little snippets of the next book in the end of this one. They also did a graphic novelization of the Batman Nightwalker one.
Fall of 2021.
Oh, I guess pushed back because of COVID. But this is the graphic novel version of the YA novel that was out. So you get to see it in illustrated form if you really hate words. There's also...
Ooh, those words!
There also is a Wonder Woman graphic novel version. Same person who did the words, which I don't have yet. There also is a second Wonder Woman book. I forget. We saw it in the store. But the other two... Well, oh. You didn't bring over the Harley Quinn book.
Oh. Okay,
anyways, there's more. There's a ton more. There is a story of Cassandra Cain. This is called Shadow of the Batgirl. There is Oracle Code. This is Barbara Gordon. Matt is going to bring over, this is the Harley Quinn book, Breaking Glass with Mariko Tamaki. There is also a book called Gotham High, which we're also interested in. But Matt, what are your thoughts on the comic books, heroes turning into YA novels?
I understand it because they're so ridiculously popular as book style. So I get it. When you're trying to push the AP and introduce new people, that's been one of the biggest surprising things about the movies, the Marvel or the DC, any of the comic book stuff. Everyone hopes is like, great, you love the Avengers? You want to read the Avengers comics? Or you love the Batman movie? You want to read a Batman comic? And then there is a resounding no. People would love these characters, but the moment you say you want to read about it, no. But people will want to read other things, like these YA books. So if that's what they're trying to do to push this stuff, I think that's fine. Nothing wrong. At some point, though, I personally get a little tired of the trope of, what if Batman and his friends were in a high school? Like, every now and then I get it, and that's fine, and it's fun. But there's also, like... That's a limited well to pull from. So. Oh.
So Matt hasn't read the YA novelizations, but he has read some of the graphic novels.
I have read most of those, yes. I think they're... I like the graphic novel take on it.
Okay, which one is your favorite?
Far and away, it is this series.
Teen Titans.
Yes, Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo doing the Teen Titans series. I hope beyond hope that we get all of the members of the Teen Titans, and by that I basically mean the one that the lineup that most people are familiar with because of the cartoon series, whether it's Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go. Beast Boy, Raven, Robin, Starfire, Cyborg. I hope we get novels about each one of them, because if you if you follow Gabriel Piccolo online, he does fantastic character designs for all of them.
Also, we're going to drop him down below, his Instagram handle, so you can stalk him and all that stuff and see what Matt's talking
Fantastic artist. And every time he does anything Teen Titan, like, here's just a day in the life at Titan's Tower or whatever it is, it's gorgeous. So I loved Raven. The first one that came out. Finally made it through the Beast Boy, the second one. Thought it was fantastic. And the fact that the next one is Beast Boy loves Raven, that's cool. I'm all about that because I love both of these characters, but I'm also like, please, please, please do not go down that and forget the other characters. Like, I want the solo Starfire book. I want the solo Cyborg book. I want to know what's going on, like Robin's take on this. I think those would be fantastic. And then give me even more. One at the end where they all are hanging out and do a Titans thing and defeat Slade Wilson, because he's another through character for these.
Okay, out of the books that we've read so far, which one is your least favorite? Sorry to throw it under the bus.
That's a tough one. The other two that really stick out are the Shadow of the Batgirl and the Oracle Code. Now, both of them are good, so I'll preface it by that. The ones that I've read have been good. So if I say least favorite, but it's not by much, and by no means do I think that it's bad.
Did you finish the Catwoman one?
You know what? I did. I'm going to go with the Catwoman one because it was forgettable. I hate to say it, but it just was like... I mean, the art is gorgeous,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with the story, but it was just like... Okay. Like, I got to the end of it, and I was just like, and? And that's a horrible thing to say, because I'm not trying to take away from the story as written or anything like that. It didn't stick with me. Maybe I wasn't the intended audience. Maybe I'm not young adult enough. I don't know. But yeah, fantastic artwork, but kind of forgettable story. I hate to say it, but what was your most favorite?
I do like the Teen Titans series so far.
Mm-hmm.
Of what we've read, I really like it. I wouldn't mind expanding that universe.
Mm-hmm.
Catwoman was my least.
Oh, it's unanimous.
Sorry. It
No.
just, like, even when they did that little, they did a little booklet for, I think it was Comic Book Day.
Free Comic Book Day, yeah, they did a preview of it.
And, I guess she's supposed to be portrayed as a little bit of an emo kid when... Not to spoil it, but she goes through this thing where she has an abusive parent, kind of, he's verbally abusive and just not very nice to her. And then a little baby kitten dies and she gets emotional about that. And I just didn't see it, understand it. And I felt like the Catwoman story could have tied in with the Batman Nightwalker one. Or like done a tie-in better, but I don't think they had fleshed out what they were.
That
DC
is
Inc.
another thing.
Or what they were gonna do yet.
From book to book, do not expect these two in any way cross over. The only ones that do so far, I believe, are the ones that are the Teen Titans one, because they're designed to do that. And then it's kind of strange. Then you're not necessarily dealing with a graphic novel per se, as much as you're dealing with a really long issue of what's intended to be a series. The rest of these are true graphic novels in the sense that they are, generally speaking, one-shots. Everything from the story that you need to know is in that single book. And so you'll have, like, it'll change from one to the next. Change being like, wait a minute, in the other book, Barbara Gordon wasn't like this, or in this other book, Batman did something different, or whatever it might be. So yeah, do not expect that, and so that's a negative if you're like, I like this, I want to know more about it. It's a positive in that you go into any of these with no baggage, which is a really great thing for a lot of people. You look at the massive history of these characters, and it's daunting. Like, you don't want to know everything and have a bunch of, like, inside references to minute things that happened 35 years ago, blah, 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 blah. No. You just want to know that, okay, Batman's a vigilante, his parents died, devoted his life to fighting crime, maybe there's a Joker, let's get into this. That's it. That's all you got to know. So I think that's actually a really good thing.
Do the graphic novels stay true to each of their stories, kind of?
No. Nor are they supposed to. Because again, it's like if you were to ever read The Walking Dead and then watch the television show, or The Boys, or anything else that's been translated from one media into the next, there are points that they keep, thematical things that they keep, and then everything else is out the window. It's to serve this individual story. Like, for example, in the Oracle Code, in this one, this is the take on Barbara Gordon, where she winds up in a wheelchair. So instead of being this acrobatic, high-flying hero Batgirl, she becomes this computer-based informational techie overlord that she calls herself Oracle. Now in the comic books, that's because the Joker shoots her in the spine. They don't do that for a young adult graphic novel. This is, I think it was a car accident, like a hit and run or something like that.
No, she fell.
She fell?
Yeah,
one way or the next. It was not. It was a violent, obviously, incident that took her legs from her. But it was not. The Joker shows up at her door, tortures her, shoots her in the spine, and then leaves laughing, hoping that she dies. But so it doesn't need, nor should it be, the exact stuff that you get from the comic book. But again, thematically, they hit the correct points.
So this is a good move for DC?
Expansion-wise, yes. I think it is something that they should do to keep things interesting and maybe forge into new audiences, yes. The part that makes me nervous, and I don't want to get too in-depth into all the technical BS that you probably don't care about, but there is a big focus on them moving away from regular comic books, like a monthly issue, and more towards something like this. So I think this is a good additional move. I don't like it as a replacement. I think there's room for both, but they don't seem to be edging that way. And it's a business decision, and it's cold and it's impersonal, and I have my issues with it, but it is what it is.
Do you think Marvel should be moving into like graphic novels or things to market toward YA?
They're starting to, actually. They do have a few things like that where they're doing the novelization routes. I haven't seen anything like YA graphic novels come out or even solicited yet. I could be wrong. But they do have one, like the one I got for a gift, I think, was that last Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm behind on my reading. But there's one that's all about Loki. And Loki is a version that's like kind of the character that you know from the movies, kind of the character that you know from the comics. Because in the comic books, he was reset to being like a preteen, and now he's kind of a young adult type. Anyway, he's very much like the cool guy. Loki's this character that's constantly changing, as you would imagine. Chaos and mischief. So he spends time dead. He spends time as a woman. Spends time as a child. And now he's growing up again. That kind of a thing. So you get those books. There are other ones that are out right now, actually. I'm spacing. They just recently came out. I'm spacing on some of them. But it's, stories from Asgard, where Thor and Loki are from, and all that kind of stuff. There's a few other ones as well. But they haven't made nearly the push that DC has.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you like us talking about DC things, we'll probably come back with an episode where we talk about DC movies. Unfortunately, it has to be done.
There's like one or two good ones.
It has to be done. We have to talk about the DC movies But if you like this series, hit the like button. Let us know what you think. If you are into graphic novels,
novelizations,
YA novels, or anything like that, let us know. Maybe we can cover your...
Or if you have questions on anything, I would be more than happy to answer. If you're just like, I don't get it, like my friend or significant other, kid, cousin, whatever, are into this stuff, and is this all like evil or stupid or whatever, like... Hit us up with your questions. I'd be more than happy to talk about it.
Also, Matt has his own channel. He vlogs and does sometimes comic book reviews and stuff like that.
And I get together with my friends from the radio station I was on.
Which he has a podcast.
Are they called vodcasts?
I don't know.
If
it's a
not,
thing where
can we
they
have
talk.
that? Yeah, we just kind of bring in bits and whatever. YouTube.com/IMakeReality, all one word. Thank you.
Yes. So there's that, and so we'll see you next time in another video. Bye!